Percentage-wise, odds of a hard crash out for the UK right now, you would put at?
I would put, best guess would be around a 1 in 10 chance. And I think this is the problem, that so many of the big events we're talking about are about big political decisions with multiple moving parts that makes it so hard to be able to call, much harder than if it were just purely on the economic data.
Yeah.
But I'd say 1 in 10. The main reason is that it still is the default option if no agreements are made to actually come up with something else, including extending or withdrawing the Article 50 agreement.
Okay, I'd love to do this. Worst case scenario, if there is a hard crash out Brexit, obviously awful for the UK. For the EU, which is already looking like it's struggling?
For sure, it's got to be a hit to confidence. Depending on which country you're talking about, it could be almost as bad, if maybe even worse, than it is for the UK. For example, in Ireland, Holland, a lot of the other countries that are impacted by the supply chain complications that it creates, it really is something where if we were to see the hard exit now, and when I mean now, I mean like on time, for the deadline that we're talking about right now. The problem is that the EU side would see that challenge, and they actually may be more likely, you could argue, to give more concessions last minute to avoid those worst case scenarios. But if we see an extension to Article 50, 3 or 6 months more, that could give the EU more time to deal with and mitigate the risks coming from that hard Brexit.
Do you think that's what's going to happen, an extension?
An extension looks like it should be a likely scenario given all the pressures that there are with the various amendments. But again, so many things can still fall apart. You could still watch the UK sleepwalk towards a hard Brexit.
Goodness.
Still possible.
Okay. But, I mean, on the odds, it sounds as though Brexit, we're going to dodge a bullet on that, right? And I'm pulling it broader here. U.S.-China trade talks will kind of kick the can down the road, or rather the can keeps on rolling for who knows how long, right? The Fed is in pause. This is the last piece of the puzzle for markets. The question is, for how long? When are they going to get back at it?
Our view is that the U.S. economy, the pessimism that's crept in about the growth outlook there is also overdone. Okay. We think that we're going to see 2.6% GDP growth this year. We're going to see wage pressures still intact, a tight labor market that will mean that the actual, well, confidence, let's assume with the trade war staying okay, China's growth all at least flatlining and starting to gradually improve it. When I say improve, gradually in the second half. Okay. That should all mean that's enough for the Fed to stop worrying about the external vulnerabilities and to focus instead on the domestic economy, which is in good shape. We think they want to have more room to be able to cut rates further when the downturn does come. And that means, we think, 2 more dovish hikes in the second half of this year.
Okay, probably September, December?
Around that. Q3 and Q4, that's right.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.